What are you in a hurry for? Why are you rushing? What are we trying to get to? I have to remind myself this sometimes, that I'm already living the life that I want to live. It's happening right now. I'm raising my children. I'm making the home that's in my heart. I don't really want to live life through a quick and easy hack. I think I want to live the from scratch life. You know, why would I want something from a box that I can whip up in 2 minutes when I can enjoy the real thing with the real ingredients? I just don't think we need to rush everything. So I want to take you guys through a day of just enjoying the things that I get to do each day. Waking up, making the beds, getting breakfast, taking care of my children. I get to do all these things. Today I woke up with the spirit of ambition. I had a plan, I had a list. I knew exactly what I wanted to accomplish today, and I felt good. I have the energy to do it. You know those days where you just feel like you can tackle the world? You're excited to do the duties that lay before you. I was going to rock this house. It was going to get cleaned. And then I was going to tackle some projects I've been wanting to do for a long time, when unexpectedly a friend stopped in. Now, in my mind, I was at war with myself thinking, oh, I have this whole list of things I want to do. I was going to sweep them off the floor and get all the laundry done because we have a trip coming up and I'm going to get a video filmed. But what's more important? This time I have with a friend who is expecting her 5th child and is honestly so tired. I stopped everything I was doing. I whipped up a easy lunch. I got her a nice drink and sat her down at my little table in the kitchen, and we just talked. I had some leftover pesto in the fridge that I made with you guys. This is a homemade pesto from our basil in the garden, and I cooked up some noodles, put some fresh garden tomatoes on there, put my homemade pesto, which I promised to put in the description box for you guys. Sorry, sometimes I forget to add recipes, but I'll be putting this one down below. And I added some shredded mozzarella and some olives. And it's just a quick pesto pasta salad. And this pesto tastes even better the next day. I also spread some pesto on some sourdough bread with some mozzarella cheese and put that under the broiler. And it's just a really simple lunch. I also added a little bit of cream to this pasta salad just to make it a little bit richer, a little bit creamier, serving it with some garden fresh cucumbers, and it's just really simple. And this afternoon was just a good reminder to me that what is the point of growing all this garden fresh, delicious food if you're not going to share it with anybody? What's the point of putting a candle on, making your home beautiful, if you're not going to share it with the people that you love? So I scratched my plans, threw all of my ideas of what I thought I was going to do today out the window, and took a moment with friends. We went swimming, and it was nice. And it's summertime, and I think that's what needed to happen. But I do have a few things I wanted to share with you guys. So here I am on another day. I have ordered some wallpaper samples, and I was so excited to get them in the mail. And it's amazing how different they look in person, which is why you should definitely order a few or a lot of wallpaper samples before you put wallpaper up. I have an idea of putting wallpaper on the top portion of this wall. I want to put a beadboard down on the lower half where that vent is. I can't stand this vent in the kitchen, and this wall just needs some love. So I want to put some wallpaper up here. But which one do you like the most? I want to choose a coordinating color from the wallpaper to paint that beadboard with and use it as a theme throughout the kitchen, possibly even painting my kitchen cabinets. So let me know if you like the one on the left, in the middle, or to the right, which the right one is actually supposed to have some apples in it, which I should have ordered 2 or more samples of that actual wallpaper. So that was a good lesson to learn. I can't see the full image in that one piece. Another place I would love to do wallpaper is in the stairway. Yes, I have turquoise walls in the staircase, which I am not a fan of, and I can't believe it's gone this long. We've lived here for 2 years and I haven't painted all of the walls in this house yet. I can't decide if I want to do something dark and moody or a little bit lighter because this is kind of a darker space. So these are 3 pieces that I've put up here, and I'm not sure that I'm in love with, well, any of them, but you can let me know what you think. This is what the stairway looks like. There's more vents, and yes, there's a banana chair at the top of the stairs trying to keep the baby from going down the stairs. So this is my plan for the stairway. And I've also ordered a couple for Myra's room. That's another place I would love to put wallpaper. We've been living in a white farmhouse world for a very long time. And don't get me wrong, I love the classic white farmhouse. I live in one and it's beautiful. But I think I'm craving some color, like many people are. I took a chance on putting this mustard yellow. It's called Amber by Magnolia. Now, when I first put this color up here, it felt bold. It felt really bold and big. But now that I've had it here on the mantle for a while, it doesn't feel that bold at all. And now I feel even more adventurous to keep going with my journey of color. So I've been taking my time, my spare time, looking at fabrics for curtains here in the dining room, trying to figure out what wallpaper I want to put in the kitchen and in the stairway. And since these are all adjacent rooms, I want to choose colors that go well together and complement each other. So having this amber yellow here in the dining room is kind of a starting point for me, and figuring out what patterns and colors will look good with this. And I just need to pull the trigger on some of these things instead of just shopping around. So one way I'm doing that today is by testing out this Roman shade trick that I saw online. I have a lot of these blinds around the house, and I've actually ripped them all off the windows here in the dining room because I thought they looked tacky. And a lot of the blinds are breaking. The kids break them and are rough with them. Well, I found a good use for them. Today I'm going to be making a Roman shade, and I'm trying it out on one of the windows upstairs. And if it works, I plan on carrying that same DIY treatment throughout all of the blinds upstairs. This is actually a no-sew DIY, so I'm just going to be ironing out my fabric. I'm using about 1.5 yards of fabric for each one of these little windows. The windows upstairs are actually small, they're low to the ground, so I don't need a whole lot of fabric. But you're going to want to take out your blinds and measure them and get enough fabric according to how long your blinds are. So for this Roman shade, I need something for the fabric to attach to. I'm going to be ripping off these blinds about every 9th blind I'm going to leave on here. And I found out very quickly that I couldn't do this on the floor. These blinds rip off so easily. You just rip off the ones that you're not using. You're going to be gluing the fabric to the one that you're leaving on here. This will all make more sense as the project goes on. If you don't have a bunch of cheap blind window treatments in your house like I do, you can go pick some of these up over at Lowe's or Home Depot or your local home store. And I believe they're pretty inexpensive. Just make sure you get the measurements of your window right. And I think they're pretty easy to get your hands on. So this is what it looks like after I pulled out every ninth blind. This is kind of the skeleton. This is where all of those bends, the folds are going to go where these blinds are left in here. Now I'm going to cut out the fabric to the length. I wasn't quite sure how much I would need on the bottom, so I left a few inches there on the bottom, but I cut out 2 inches excess on each side, and then I am using an adhesive no-sew tape. I ordered this adhesive no-sew tape from Amazon. You can also pick it up at your fabric store. I picked up an extra one when I was getting my fabric. And then I'm going to be using some glue to bind the fabric to the top of the blind, the shade mechanism here. And this just takes a little bit of time. You want to give it time for your glue to adhere. And then I'm going to be folding the fabric over to make it look all seamless as I can. I had a little bit of excess fabric here, so I'm going to need to cut that off, but what is on the back you will not be able to see. I'll put a few Amazon links in the description box below of the glue and the adhesive and things that I used for this project. I also pulled out my hot glue gun just for the edges of this mechanism here on top. It just needed something a little bit stronger to get it to stick. I probably wouldn't use hot glue gun through the entire project just because you could see it through the fabric. If you go too heavy on the glue, you might end up seeing some glue spots on the fabric on the other side. So try not to make any large pools of glue, but you just continue this process for each of the blinds, gluing them face down to the fabric. And then you're going to want to put some sort of weight, something to put on the blind to get it to dry and adhere nicely to your fabric. What drew me to this project was just the idea of using something I already had, that no waste concept, and having a nice and easy way to put some blinds up on these different shaped small windows. This was a good solution. So I'm doing the same thing here on the bottom, folding this fabric over the bottom of this blind mechanism, and then cutting off the excess fabric at the bottom as well. And like I said, I pulled out the hot glue gun just for the corners, folding that over, tucking all the fabric in, trying to make it look, well, as seamless as I possibly can. I picked kind of a woven sage green, almost like a pinstripe design on this fabric. I know it's not super wild in color or super bold, but we're going to be painting upstairs and kind of redoing that family room soon. So I wanted something that was fairly neutral that could fit in with whatever rug that we choose, or if I want to be putting in wallpaper upstairs. But this is what it looks like with the finished project. You see how each of those blinds is the fold? And with this particular blind, it's supposed to retract as it goes up. So there's no string to pull or anything like that. It just retracts. And since we left all the mechanisms intact, it retracts just great. One key is to make sure that you're not breaking any of the little blind pieces as you're going along. One of them actually broke on the top one, and you can see it when it folds a little bit. So be careful not to break any of the blinds as you're going through the process. But overall, this project worked out just great. And now I can carry out this same idea throughout the rest of the windows upstairs. I could really see doing multiple shades at the same time and just kind of rotating through them while you're letting the glue dry. I love little things like this. Simple things that make your home beautiful and functional. I hope you guys enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me today. Remember to take time to do the things that really matter. And also remember that I make a new video each week. I've been making videos out on Monday, and I'll catch you next week. Love you lots.